Hey everybody, welcome to Northern Thailand and welcome to Worm Bin Weekends Week 13. Now last week in Week 12, Bin 1, we were taking a look on the way things were coming along from me adding in the shredded up corrugated cardboard bedding and that full piece of cardboard that I put at the bottom of the bin. And things were beginning to dry out. It wasn't nearly as wet and sticky as it had been in previous weeks. So I was really happy with the consistency of the way the bedding, or actually the castings I should say, were starting to come along. But there was one other significant thing that happened since last week, and that is temperature. It's been starting to drop down into the low 60s and the high 50s, maybe as low as the mid 50s in the evenings here. And by evenings, I mean once the sun goes down into the middle of the night before morning, it's getting cooler. I mean, that for us, that's our cool season, but it's significant enough that those types of temperatures can be detrimental to the health and the well-being of African night crawlers. So I just did a random temperature check one night, really late at night, right before I went to sleep. It was in the middle of the night. And I'm gonna tell you something, it was significant. Bin 1, which is the furthest water tub behind me here, that's where Bin 1 resides. It's closest to my window. It was over 5 degrees warmer than Bins 2 and Bins 3. It was amazing. So because of that, and because of the fact that the castings had been stickier and wetter over these past couple of weeks, I've made a decision. And this also kind of segues into the fact that I still want to get one last garden video in before the end of the year. So I am going to pull all of the castings, all the beddings, and all the worms out of Bin 1. And I'm going to split it in half. I'm going to put half of them in with Bin 2 and the other half in with Bin 3. That'll hopefully combine in those bins and help things dry out a little bit better. The population obviously is going to increase, and what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put solid cardboard in Bins 2 and Bins 3 on the bottom like I did with Bin 1, and hopefully along with some natural leaf cover atop, that'll help things stay warm through the rest of this cool season. Now, don't misunderstand, Bin 1 is not going out of service. What I am going to do is I'm going to do a how-to video on my regular gardening channel about how to properly cycle a brand new worm bin. So I'm going to clean out Bin 1, treat it as if it was a brand new bin that I just received, and I'm going to show you how to go about putting in the mesophilic and the thermophilic bacteria into your bin before you add your worms, so you don't wind up with some of the problems that you saw me struggle with in this series. And so that's going to be the last regular gardening video for me for the 2021 calendar year. We're just going to keep rolling right along with the worms in the Worm Bin Weekend series here. So with all that being said, and that was a mouthful, let's go ahead and get started with Bin 1. We're going to check in on things, and then over Saturday and Sunday, you're going to see Bin 1 get combined into Bins 2 and Bins 3. So let's get started. All right, gang, week 13, Bin 1. Now, I should mention that all I'm really going to be doing here today is just checking in on the worms to make sure they look okay. And really, that's about it. I'm going to be moving all these materials into Bins 2 and Bins 3 tomorrow and Sunday. So you'll be seeing that tomorrow and Sunday. Adding both the bedding, the castings, and the population order to those two bins, because we're going to cycle this bin as a brand new bin to do for a regular gardening video on my main channel. So with that being said, let's dig in and check things out. Woo! Fruit flies. Look at that, you guys. Oh, my goodness. We got a lot of them. Holy smokes. Okay, well, we have a bit of a pest issue here for the first time. Wow. Man, was there a lot of fruit flies. Holy cow. Okay, so I think part of it, you see how they're all here inside of the cardboard? I think the wet cardboard being exposed like this could be part of the problem. Got one worm on the back end side here. Man, I have never had this many fruit flies before. Well, the geckos will be happy. One worm on top of the cardboard here, but holy cannolis. Holy smokes, that's a lot. How do things look? They look wet. Yeah, I think the decision to combine Bin 1 into Bins 2 and 3 is a good one. Man, guys, there are so many fruit flies. I literally am having a hard time even looking into the bin. They're flying into my face. That's horrible. It's crazy. Okay, so as you can see, we still got really just very clumpy material here. It's like mud. It's not nearly as sticky as it was back during week 11. There's obviously worms in here, as you can see, but you know what else there is? There's fruit flies, and you can see them everywhere. I think I've also got mites. I think I got things crawling around here that I've never really seen black mites before. But then again, this is Thailand. So let's see. Yeah, this is a good decision at this point to take these materials and combine them into a dryer bin. I think, well, things have been staying warm for them, and that's good. But this is still just too clumpy and too wet. And it would be one thing if all I was trying to do, well, here's that mango pit that I added. I think this was back in week 10. I've been working on that a little bit. There's a smaller sized worm right on it right there. Sorry for the shaky hand, guys. The worms look okay. You know, I mean, it's not anaerobic. It's just it's moist. But man, there's a lot of fruit flies. Holy cow! Woo! They're just everywhere. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So basically, I've just confirmed that the idea of moving all this over into bins 2 and 3 is a good idea. Boy, is it! I mean, look how. Let's see. The cardboard has definitely done its job in the way of absorbing a lot of the moisture and at the same time trying to help keep things warmer. I was really surprised, like I said, when you guys saw the temperature readings when I first started the video tonight. I mean, the temp of bin 1 really was kind of surprising for me, but the worms are all through the material, as you can see here. I mean, they're all through the materials and stuff, but boy, it's just can you see that? It's clump. It's moist clump. It's not, you don't hear the stickiness that you did before, and that's because the bedding has been mixed in. But holy cow, the fruit flies are just unbelievable. I think what I may do, not tonight, but tomorrow, during the day when things are warm. What is that? Oh, it's food. I'm gonna probably leave the lid off, let the fruit flies just kind of leave, and let the geckos feast. Because whether I want to or not, geckos get in my house. They're unavoidable. And trust me, these things right here, they're like perfect snacks for geckos. They'll take them out quickly too. So flying things don't last very long in my house here in Thailand. They never really have. That's why I've never really been worried about mosquitoes or anything on indoors. But let's see, do I have some babies here? What do we got? Yeah, we do. All right. I'm gonna try to do a better job than I did last week showing you the babies, guys, if I can. Right here on my middle finger. No pun intended, y'all. But if you can see that, that's a baby African nightcrawler. Man, they're small. It's hard to believe that's an African nightcrawler. It really, really is. They are so small when they're babies. They've grown to these monstrosities. Yeah, but as you can see, the cardboard is very wet. It's compressed. I mean, this wasn't really huge pieces of corrugated cardboard to begin with. It was just pizza box cardboard, which is slightly corrugated, not tremendously. Yeah, the fruit flies are just too much. Unbelievable. But yeah, the materials are still really clumpy. I think, and I got this idea, if you guys have never checked out Noel Davis's channel called World Composting, I really want to encourage you to do so. He took a bin very similar to the consistency of what bin 1 is here, and he added it into another one of his bins that had the same species of worm in it, that had drier materials, and was able to get things to balance out and was able to finally process them that way. It took him a little bit longer than it would normally. But he was able to take care of it that way. So that's the reason why I've decided that this is the way I really want to go. But the worms look fine. They're all through the materials. I don't see a whole lot of food. I see a little bit, you know, like this here. Whew. You know, there's still a little bit of food, but the worms have primarily gone through most of the food in the bin, with the exception of this mango pit, which I'll put down back in the middle right now. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take half of this and put it in bin 2, and the other half's going in bin 3. I'm gonna leave the lid off during the hot portion of the day tomorrow because we are still in the 80s during the day, and hopefully I can get the majority of the fruit flies out of here that way. But that's all I really wanted to do, is just check on the worms, see how things look, and knowing that there's that many fruit flies in this bin, yeah, it's I'm glad I checked on it this way first before deciding just to add everything over. There probably are larvae and maybe even eggs from these flies in the materials, so no matter what I do, they're probably going to wind up over in bins 2 and bins 3 as well. But I mean, if you could see the side of the of my tub over here, there's easily 100 fruit flies that are just sitting on the tub right next to this setup that I have where the bin is right now. It's unbelievable. So anyway, yeah, that's bin 1, guys. Tomorrow, bins 2 and bins 3, we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm going to put a pizza bottom down here, put the material in and mix it in with the existing materials, and I'm gonna have a nice dry leaf cover, and that's gonna be both for bins 2 and bins 3. So yeah, that's it for tonight. I really want to thank you for joining me. If you haven't already, please do like and share the video. Hit the bell notification icon if you would, so you can be alerted when I upload new content. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I hope you would maybe give consideration to doing so. Hey, listen, wherever you are in this world today or tonight, you take care. Bye for now.